How to add a new complaint. From the main menu page, click the New Complaint button, which will load the complaint screen. For this example, we will manually be entering a complaint number, but we encourage that an administrator have the complaint numbers auto-populate where the first two digits are the year, followed by 6 character digits. Now, click the Complainant Type drop-down box and select a type. Next, click the Add Person button, which will bring up the search screen where you can search for persons or businesses. For this example, we will be searching for a person. Let's say we're searching for a person with the last name Simpson. Fill out the last name and click the Search Person button. And it returns individuals with the last name Simpson. But let's say we know the person you're searching for has the last name Simpson, but you're only sure of the correct spelling for the first 3 letters of the name. You would then type SIM followed by the percentage sign and click Search Person button, which returns all individuals with last names starting with SIM. Note, if an individual is highlighted in red, this tells the dispatcher that there is an issue with this person. Let's double click on Homer Simpson, which brings up his detailed information. And if you'll notice, there's a potential harm button. Click it, which will show you the potential harm from the past from this individual with the option to add new potential harms from this individual and any comments you'd like to type. The Browse button is for when you want to upload a picture of the individual. There are 2 additional tabs: History, which is any records that have the individual tied to, and the Offender tab, which will show the complaint number and the incident number of any record where this individual was an offender. Back on the Details page, once you have everything you need, click the Select Person button. And that person will populate the individual's table. Now, for the time the call was received and the date the call was received should populate the current date and time upon the screen opening, but double check to ensure that this is correct. Next, we will fill out the date and time dispatch sent the police on the call. The date arrived is the date the officer arrived at the scene of the complaint, and the time arrived is the time the officer arrived on the scene. Date cleared is the date the officer reports the complaint is cleared, and the time cleared is the time the officer reports the complaint cleared. From here, we will fill out the complaint type, how it was received, how it was handled, the location code, and the location dispatched, where if the complainant information is complete from the caller, you can click the Same as Complainant button, which will populate the location dispatch field without retyping it. But if you do not have the complainant information filled out, you can type in the location manually, if in fact it is the same address. Next, we'll type the description of the complaint. Then we need to add an officer. Click the drop-down box for an officer and select the officer needed. Then click the relation drop-down box and select a relation. After you have selected both an officer and a relation, click the Add Officer button, which will populate into the officer table. You can repeat these steps if you need to add multiple officers. Please note that we are adding an officer on the complaint screen, and the officer information will also show up on the incident screen as well. Also, if an officer has become inactive for any reason, retired, quit, or fired, their name will not appear in the drop-down list. If you have any information for the remaining fields, you can go ahead and fill them out, whether it's the station division ID or the GPS location. When you've completed everything you need, the last thing to do is to click the Save Complaint button and click OK.